All right, guys. Let's see. Okay, so I got one of my gadgets in the mail. Oh, the wind. Great. Um, Yesterday, or like late yesterday, after Serenity, and I went and did our vlog, and took me a while to put it all together to figure out the pieces. And so this is the head strap. I'm wearing the head strap, and I'm realizing that they make these. What, Norma? I realize that they make these for definitely smaller phones because this thing is huge. My daughter's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so embarrassed." I'm like, "What? I've done way worse." Like, girl, you forget. Oh, the only problem is I can't see what you're seeing, so I don't know. But I see tracks. So let's see. Oh, I see lots of tracks. Wow. That one was a heavy one. Big. Ooh, look at all these tracks. I mean, there's nothing for them to really... Look at that. There's like a lot of dancing going on right here. Snapdragons. They don't like Snapdragons or this Elysium. I don't see... There's not anything. I've cut it down. Oh, okay, so this fence thing. So I thought I had like this great idea. See how there's like that fence over there? I don't know, maybe I'm gonna like the chest strap better. We'll see. I'm doing one of each. One video of each, and then that's just the way it is. So if this video is terrible, I'm very sorry. Anyway, so yesterday I thought I had this like fantastic idea, and I was like, I dragged that fencing over here, and I was gonna like put this fence around it, and I liked that idea, and I would just put like 4 posts in, be no big deal. I even trimmed up. It was really cold, so I was out here for all of like maybe 15 minutes, and I trimmed up like this edge here, because it was like all flopping over, and threw the stuff over my fence because, I did not sweep though, but it wasn't a mess. And I'm going to have to sweep tonight in order to keep track of what the deer... Oh, they've been like gnawing on the Swiss chard. Like they yank out a piece and then they decide they don't like it. I don't understand. Psychos. I got to clean out that. This is hole number 4 for my golf. I got to clean out that hole. Look at that. That's terrible. Hey, Bruce, I don't know what you're tripping on. Anyway, so I wanted to try this head thing to see. I know I'm not going to watch the video. I'll probably watch like 5 seconds of it. I'm like my own worst enemy when it comes to watching but this thing is heavy on my forehead. It's definitely going to leave a mark. I should have put a beanie on. Anyway, so I had the idea. So I did like this mock trial of it. I put it all the way, because it's a big fence. And then I realized, oh my gosh, it's so big that I would have to cut it. And then the minute I realized that I had to cut it, I don't want to cut it. I don't want to cut that fence because it's a perfect length of piece that I can use later for a different vision that I have in my head. And then I started thinking, oh my gosh, this is like my diary. But then who ever goes back and reads their diary? Like, I mean, I've started lots of diaries when I was younger and then instantly was bored. And then just threw them away or rip up the pages just because they're dumb. Like, it was never my thing. It's not dumb. But in my world, it doesn't work. I forget about it. It's just, I already study a lot and write a lot. So the last thing I want to do is write more. So then I was like, oh yeah, the videos. And then all my watchers are like, my diary. They're the ones that know all this information, but it still does me no good. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the fence. Okay, so in my mind, when I eventually see my yard, I see another fence line. I know I'm like fence queen. And coming from the edge of this shed, coming across, and then that other shed will be right here. And then I want to put in a gate, but I don't want this fence to be very high. I like that one's only 3 feet, that fence, and it's green, which works for me. And I don't want to cut it up because I know it will fit perfectly right here. And that's where I envision it going. So then I was thinking, okay, so I don't want to cut that to make that, or I could just double wrap it. I could do that too. And then I was like, oh, I could take this yellow, whatever this yellow stuff is. I don't know what it is, like caution fence. I don't know, construction fence. I have no idea what it is. I just know I don't really care for it. I just have like a feeling that as soon as like snow gets on it, it's just gonna bend and flop. And if I stake it in, because it's not staked in, it's just kind of like loosely held in a few spots. But if I do stretch it and stake it in, first of all, I don't really care for it. I think it takes away from the colors that are in the back thing. But I just temporarily have it to, block the deer, which I guess I don't really need it there. I could take that, but then I would need more stakes because it's such a floppy fence. I just feel like if it snows and stuff, it's still going to be bent, and then I think it's just going to get brittle, and then I'm just going to have stuff everywhere. And the only reason why I think that is because like a couple years ago when Serenity was like 4 and we went to the dollar store, like she tripped out on these what do they call them, pineapple outdoor yard lights. I have like one over here that I have to bring in. Anyway, so we got it for her. It was $1, and it was just weird that she wanted it, but whatever. See, I have a couple of them right there. Those pineapple fake looking things. I have no idea what you guys can see. And anyway, so we had it and it did fine. Like my daughter had it in a plant, no big deal. And then they lived in an apartment at the time. And then we moved out here and my daughter put it outside, didn't think anything about it. And then springtime rolled around and she went to go weed her yard, and it was like the only thing that she had that was really pretty much, she went to go weed a little plant area that she wanted to start putting plants in, and there was like this yellow plastic stuff everywhere, all over the place. The wind had blown it all over the area that she was working in, and she was like, what is this? And she picked up like 1,000,000 pieces and then finally realized that it was that pineapple. It had exploded because it got really cold and then brittle. And I don't think that fence is going to explode, but I just feel like it's just going to be broken, and like I just feel like I can't leave it out here in the wintertime. Like that little piece on the corner I'm going to use as like a trial thing and leave that out here, but I'm going to have to pull this yellow caution fence up because I just don't know what its capability is in the harsh winter out here. So then I was like, gonna use it over here, but I really don't care for it just takes away, it's too much color. If it was green, I wouldn't care. If it was black, I wouldn't care. If it was white, I wouldn't care. But because it's that yellow, which is probably efficient for whatever its real purpose is, it's just not working for me in my yard. I mean, it did great for right here, and then I could take that other green fence without cutting it, and I can just like wrap it there, and I can store that all winter long just as like a wrap. No big deal. And take out this yellow and fold this up, and maybe like I'll use it. There might be a different purpose for it. I don't know. I found it in the shed, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. And I'm glad that it's not like staked in or anything. Like I can easily detach it. No problem. But it's just not... I have to think of a different purpose for it. It's just not what I want. Like maybe it'll just be one of those summer fences that I have like around like a pumpkin patch or something. Or like actually I could transfer it back into that back row behind the white. Because next year I'm thinking this is where I want to put like zucchini, squash, and watermelon. And then in between each one of those things, or like on the back row, put a marigold line in the very back, and then zucchini, squash, and then like watermelon, because I really want to try to focus on watermelon, because I can grow the plant, I just can't grow a melon. Oh, cantaloupe. I can grow cantaloupe and pumpkin, but I don't want to put pumpkin back here. I just want to do like a cantaloupe, a watermelon, and then like maybe 2 zucchinis and 2 squashes, but I want to plant them like a week apart, because otherwise we just get too much at one time. And we haven't learned to store yet, because see, I am not a professional anything. Well, I'm an expert artist at my own art. That's the only thing. That's it. I'm not a professional, nothing. So I'm just really testing out. I need to deadhead these and spread those down there, because that's my goal. And then pull up this yellow fencing, which I think I can accomplish that today. And then over here is just... I'm not going to go try to find some cinder blocks and a couple more pieces of wood to make the other side look like this side. I don't know, like I had a vision kind of in my head where I had gotten like driftwood, but like all different sizes, but not super tall, but not super short. And doing like a, dig a trench, and then you put and then it's like like maybe it's a little higher in the center, like maybe a pyramid type shape. I don't know, like I was thinking maybe that's what I need to do with this. And then take those 2 cinder blocks and the pieces of wood, and transfer them over here. I can't do a lot with this bed right now because it's so compact with stuff. It is it's so overgrown with stuff, and it's its first year, so I don't really want to start ripping a bunch of stuff out. I want to let it, but I do need a better way to contain this without it looking sloppy. So I was thinking if I transferred that front pieces over there, because then I can still keep my hole, and then build up a wall underneath those 2 pieces of wood and those 2 cinder blocks. And I'm not going to go buy 2 cinder blocks and 2 pieces of wood. I'm just utilizing what I have, and then I'll add what I can find. And then on that side, maybe flip this fencing over and do like a thing. I don't know. I need to contain this flower bed because it's just crazy. I do love that it's still going, but wow, that's a little nuts. Okay, what's up, Bruce? Is he rolling in the dirt? All right, so I think this testing thing is over. I'll end this vlog. And thanks for watching. Oh, my forehead kind of hurts. Definitely wear a beanie next time. I got my finger stuffed in there and I can't even see the stop button. So we're just going to wing it and see what we can do. All right. Bye, guys.